Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we're going to take a look at another series of kill teams. Following the kill team Errata 1.1, this time we're looking at the Agents of the Imperium. So we're going to kick off with Exaction Squad, then we're going to go into Hunter Clade for the AdMech, the Elucidian Starstriders and the Rogue Trader element, any changes to the Imperial Navy Breachers, Inquisitorial Agents, and finally we'll finish off with the Sisters of Battle Novitiates and see just exactly what's changed, if anything. Judging by the Imperial Guard one we did, there might not be many changes. It is still very early in this edition, but how about we jump straight into the Exaction Squad and see what's changed for them. They are cool models, I don't see the wider use for them. In my head, kill team is all about sending in operatives to get a mission done. I don't know much about these guys, about their lore. The only thing I know is Fishig in the Eisenhorn books. Fantastic character. And I'm going to start here, completely off topic, a petition for Carl Urban to play Fishig in whatever Eisenhorn movie, TV adaptation. He'd be perfect. If you've seen Dread, you know. But these guys I don't get. They're a police force. Why would they be dropping into enemy positions and taking on enemy kill teams? And I don't see how they fit into this sort of overall expanded setting. But they're here, they're really nice models, and there's a lot of love for these guys. Nice to have them back in plastic. But what's actually changed for them? Nothing. In fact, there's not been many changes at all. There's just been a shot pistol weapon added to the Leash Master operative, which was the first errata. Okay, so nice and easy. Let's jump into the next one. This is going to be the Hunter Clade. Now these guys, these fit the setting. I can kind of figure out how this Skitarii elite would get in there. Probably on an AdMech world, on a Forge world or something. If there's enemy presence, they'd send these guys out. I completely see it. The thing I like about these is it's the coats. They're too augmented for me. I'm not a big lover of all the cyberpunk limb swappings and stuff. That's just my personal preference. But these guys have really cool coats, robes. What are we calling them? I guess they're trench coats. But it's the open coat style. I really like it. Really, I mean, maybe I could kit bash them with different legs. I think their weapons are cool as well. They really feel that steampunky vibe. Yeah, I've never actually looked at the models that are in this, because this wasn't a box that was released, it was a White Dwarf kill team. Models are pretty nice. I like the colours as well, the red and black, always works. But again, let's see what's actually changed for these guys. With Errata 1.1, all the way down here. Quite a few things. Okay, in fact it's not, it's two changes, it's just a lot of wording. So they've actually changed a lot of their faction rule, and they've changed one of the firefight ploys. So the faction rule, Doctrina Imperatives, first paragraph changed to read, at the end of the select operative step, select one Doctrina Imperative to be a primary mode for your kill team until the end of the battle. Okay, end of the battle. Note that selecting a primary mode doesn't automatically give you the benefits of that Doctrina for the battle. You must still select it as a strategic gambit as below. So you select one Doctrina Imperative to be the primary mode for your kill team until the end of the battle. So you just choose it once. Strategic Gambit. Select one Doctrina Imperative for friendly Hunter Clade operatives to have until the ready step of the next strategy phase. Each Doctrina Imperative has both an optimization and a depreciation rule. Both are in effect while your kill team has that Doctrina Imperative. Once per battle, when you select the Doctrina Imperative that's your kill team's primary mode, you can ignore its depreciation rule. And then the Bulwark Imperative optimization changed to read, normal damage of 3 or more inflicts 1 less damage to friendly Hunter Clade operatives. So in some of these there's a little bit of damage reduction. Okay, so let's actually take a look at this faction rule and see, when we put it all together, what it actually does. Because I'm expecting there to be bits missing from that. Or maybe not. Right, what else have we had? So, change to the firefight ploy as well, an omnisize imperative, probably to mirror. So first paragraph changed to read, use this firefight ploy during a friendly Hunter Clade operative selection. Alternatively, use it when an enemy operative is shooting a friendly Hunter Clade operative at the end of the roll attack dice step. Inflict D3 plus 1 damage on that friendly operative until the ready step of the next strategy phase. That friendly operative has the additional rule determined by its current Doctrina imperative as follows. Additional text added to the end of the third bullet point. If you use this ploy during a shoot action, this operative's save stat is changed immediately. This takes precedence over the core rules. It's not a fight action, it's a shoot action. So it's only in shooting, but you do get the increase to the save stat immediately. So it might keep you are taking damage on that operative anyway though. So, very risk reward. Let's read it in full. So they have added it in on that bullet point. It was for the bulwark as well, right, okay. So, use this firefight ploy during a friendly Hunter Clade operative's activation. Alternatively, use it when an enemy operative is shooting a friendly Hunter Clade operative at the end of the roll attack dice step. Inflict D3 plus 1 damage to that friendly operative until the ready step of the next strategy phase. That friendly operative has an additional rule determined by its current Doctrina imperative as follows. Yeah, okay. That actually does seem quite useful, but you are guaranteed to take at least 2 damage on that operative by doing this, regardless of whatever happens, either in their turn or that opponent's shooting phase. I think that update just adds extra utility to that rule. I'm guessing before you couldn't pop it in the shooting phase, so you would only be able to use it on your operative's turn, in which case adding the save from the bulwark probably isn't as useful. Yeah, okay. I mean, I see how it plays and I see what you do with it. I just don't... Maybe they've changed this because it just wasn't getting a lot of play. Because they also changed the wording of bulwark, meaning that you get that +1 to your save straight away. Yeah, so that's what they've added then. That's what they've changed it to be. Don't know if that's made them better as such, but it definitely seems to have a use case, which is good. So now how about we jump over to the rogue trader retinue of the Elucidian Starstriders. I love these models. I love this idea as well. I think one of my plans, I know that we're going to lose this team at some point, and I don't even know if you can still buy them. I haven't checked recently. But this is the kind of team that I would absolutely love to just kit bash. Use these stats, but kit bash a rogue... I've already kit bashed a rogue trader, but, you know, get a Canid, get a Death Cult Executioner, and just go absolutely mad, make some crazy models. Even the retinue, the Void Master and the Void Warriors. What are they called? Voidmen? The Voidsmen? Yeah, you could just get some cool models and just make something cool. These do look cool, but they are all monopose, which puts me off, but they're nice. They're nice models. Again, it's a team that I don't actually know what they do. They still have the warrant of trade. I'm just interested in this team now. So they are a fixed, yes. You've got your 6 specialists, you've got your 1 rotor cannon gunner, but it's Lasgun's rotor cannon. You're probably lacking in punch, because they are all quite low wound models, are they not? 8, 7 on the Canid, 8 on the Specialist, 7 on the Voidsman. Yeah, okay, so they are quite low. Anyway, let's have a look at any changes. No changes. Not actually been a lot of changes regardless, even 1.1. Sorry, 1.0. Yeah, okay, so they're fundamentally the same. I think that this is one of those teams. They're really cool. The models are great. Like, same with the Galapox. I think we'll see the same with the Galapox. The only changes that we're going to get to these teams, because they're not widely available, certainly the Galapox have disappeared. But they came back, and they were really cool models, and everybody wanted them, and I never picked them up, I don't know why. But they're not exactly part of the future of Kill Team. They may get replaced with something else. But I think any updates in erratas that we're going to see is only if they're doing something horrendously broken and beating people they shouldn't be beating. or kill teams they shouldn't be beating. We're probably going to leave the Elucidian Starstriders behind very soon, along with the Galapox, within the first year, which is what they were wanting to do. We know that that'll be coming up probably next summer. They'll start to drop off as the seasons from the last edition drop off. So I don't think we're actually going to see much for them, but we'll keep an eye anyway. There might be some cool stuff that comes up. How about we have a look at the Imperial Navy Breachers now? So these beautiful models, really, really nice kit. But again, they just, for me and how I think I like to play, because it always constantly changes in my brain, but for how I think I like to play, they don't really work for me. Part of it is they're close range, they're all armed with shotguns, and they do have the long range shots. But hitting on a 5, and if you get a hit through, it's 1 to 2 damage on a long range. It kind of takes the thrill out of shooting for me. I prefer a little bit more punch from my arsenal. But stunning models, absolutely stunning models. I do have a kit to build. But what changes have we had? Oh, we have had changes. Okay, so we've got a change to Strategic Ploy and a change to the Command Breach Sergeant-at-Arms Operative. So, Strategy Ploy, Brace for Counterattack, has been changed to read: whenever an operative is shooting against, fighting against, or retaliating against a friendly Imperial Navy Breach operative that's within your territory or that hasn't performed a charge, fallback, or reposition action during this turning point, normal and crit damage of 3 or more inflict 1 less damage on that friendly operative. So all they've really done is further clarify where you can do this. It is more of a defensive maneuver now, but yeah, okay. And reducing normal and crit damage of 3 or more, which is a lot of things. Certainly crit damage is probably always going to be 3 or more. Knocking that damage down by 1 is quite nice. I'm just going to have a quick look, see if there's any more to that strategic ploy. That's the full thing. Okay, yeah, I like it. I wonder what it was previously, what the damage number was. It sounds like a bit of a nerf. But let me know if you play these guys, let me know in the comments what you think of that change. And the Sergeant-at-Arms Operative Command Breach has now been changed to read: whenever you would use an attack order or defense order strategy ploy, if this operative is in the kill zone, it costs you 0 CP. Once during each of the operative's activations, before or after it performs an action, if your attack order or defense order marker is in the kill zone, see relevant strategy ploy, you can either remove that marker and place it again, or change the selected ploy to the other, e.g. your attack order becomes a defense order. You cannot do both, and you don't need to spend CP to change the ploy. So, Command Breach. Whenever you would use an attack order or defense, so that's the full thing, isn't it? So they've added those paragraphs in, but we've just seen the full thing. So, attack order or defense order. Place your attack order in the kill zone whenever a friendly Imperial Navy Breach operative is within 3 inches of that marker, is shooting, fighting, or retaliating. Its weapons have the ceaseless weapon rule. In the ready step of the next strategy phase, remove the marker. You cannot use this ploy and the defensive order strategy ploy in the same strategy phase. Kind of makes sense, you're attacking or you're defending. And the defense order is place the marker in the kill zone whenever an operative is shooting, specifically shooting, a friendly Imperial Navy Breach operative that's within 3 inches of that marker. You can re-roll any of your defense dice of 1 result, e.g. result of 2. In the ready step of the next strategy phase, remove the marker. So they haven't changed, but you can now do it for 0 CP. Yeah, it's like a standard sergeant, like Space Marine sergeant, lieutenants I think it is. No, captains, in 40k, Space Marine captains can do things for 0 CP, certain things. And that's the kill team version, I think. Attack order, defense order. That's quite a big change, isn't it? So it's free to use, which is really nice, and you can either remove it and place it again somewhere else, or you can change it from an attack to a defense. It adds extra strategy to what you're doing. So could you... Theoretically, you have an attack marker down, and you've got 2 operatives who are, let's say, shooting an enemy, and you activate one, then the enemy goes and you activate the other, and they kill that enemy with their firepower between the 2 of them. You could then activate the Sergeant at Arms and remove that marker and place it again somewhere else, or you could change it to defend, so that from that point on, for the rest of that turn, you're rerolling defense rolls of whichever result you choose. I like it. If that's how it works, and that's how my brain understands it, let me know in the comments if you think something different. But if that's how it works, that's pretty nice. And again, it's not a big change, it's nothing major, it is just adding more functionality to some of your operatives or your strategy ploys. I think that's a nice to have with the Sergeant at Arms change. You'll have to let me know in the comments. But yeah, overall, makes sense, I'm not against it. How about we jump over to Inquisitorial Agents, which is another kill team I've always wanted. I actually like the models. I've also always wanted to just kit bash and just do whatever I want. Really, really nice. These guys were the narrative box that they did, or included in the narrative box that they did, and they're just gorgeous. Lots of different options as well. I wonder if they must still be available because they have 40k rules now. Yeah, I've always liked these. I don't know if they're any good, but you can ally in others. Yeah, so you can take Sisters of Silence, you can take Scions, you can take... yeah. Oh. I thought you could take more than that. You get 5 agents from the list above, or requisitioned and you cannot select requisitioned operatives from different groups. Wait, what? So requisitioned operatives can be taken from one of the following. So your kill team is made up of the Interrogator, the Tome Skull, 5 agents from that list, and then on top of that 5 agents from any of the requisition list below, which gives you access to all of the Imperial Guard stuff, Exaction Squad, Navy Breachers, Kazakin. So if you wanted to take 5 Kazakin and 6 Inquisitorial Agents, you can. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Or Scions or Sisters of Silence, as we've just seen. Scions would be cool. Scions don't get enough love. They should have an boots on the ground kind of kill team like they used to. Yeah, okay, cool. You can still do what I thought you could do. Oh, lots of updates. So we had a rules update last time. If there is any rules updates in future editions, or future erratas, we'll go over those as well. Wow, lots of changes, quite a lot that's been taken away. So first one, team selection. They've added the additional text. Your kill team, including any requisitioned operatives, cannot include more than 1 weapon with the Piercing 2 weapon rule, and cannot include more than 3 weapons with the Piercing X, excluding Piercing Crit X weapon rule combined. Okay, so people were making horrible nasty things and shredding armor. It's what I'm reading from that. Yeah, that's probably a fair balance change. The Tome operative consecrated Tome rule, they have got rid of the second paragraph. So it did read, the first time this operative is incapacitated during the battle, you can set it back up within control range of a friendly Interrogator operative in a location it can be placed, and select an Inquisitorial Tome rule for it to have. If you do that, Interrogator operative cannot itself have an Inquisitorial Tome rule for the rest of the battle, although it can continue to change this operatives as normal. What does it actually do? So they've got rid of that entire paragraph, and it now reads, this operative can have an Inquisitorial Tome rule, see Interrogator, Inquisitorial Tomes, Strategic Gambit, and or when this operative is activated, select one of the following Inquisitorial Tome rules for this operative to have. So it's only that operative. And one for a friendly Inquisitorial Agent Tome Skull operative to have. They can have the same, and ignore the rule you don't select for each operative. So it only interacts with the Inquisitorial Agent, is that correct? You can have Denunciation or Sanctification, so it boosts the Interrogator with whatever it does. Okay, but they have gotten rid of you being able to bring it back, and so the Interrogator will always have the rule until it disappears. So, Consecrated Tome. So the Consecrated Tome rule, they got rid of the second paragraph, so all it does now is what we're looking for, isn't it? So it is now just expendable. This operative is ignored for your opponent's kill/elimination op when it's incapacitated and when determining your starting number of operatives. It's also ignored for victory conditions that require operatives to escape, survive, or be incapacitated if it escapes, survives/is incapacitated, depending on how many operatives must escape, survive/be incapacitated, etc. So it just doesn't count towards anything. I mean, this is probably where my knowledge of this team falls down, because it reads to me like none of the first paragraph has changed, but they used to be expendable, which makes perfect sense. It's a floating book. You're not really going to worry about it if someone's trying to kill you. Although, having played Darktide, those books are pretty useful, certainly for the XP they'd give you. And they've gotten rid of the other rule, which we went through, which there wasn't really a lot of point, was there? But at least now we know what it doesn't do. So you used to be able to bring it back, but the Interrogator would then lose whichever part of the rule he got. Okay, so they've made it less useful. The Mystic Operative Scry action, the second sentence of condition deleted. This operative can perform this action twice during its activation, but you must select different effects if it does. So it's Scry action. It can no longer perform the action twice. And what was the Scry action? So for 1 AP, you could select a friendly Inquisitorial Agent within 6 inches of the operative, then select one of the following effects to last until the start of the operative's next activation, until it's incapacitated, or until it performs this action again. You could do Psychic. Whenever the selected operative is shooting, fighting, or retaliating in the roll attack dice step, you can retain one of your fails as a normal success instead of discarding it, or retain one of your normal successes as a critical success instead. Or Protection Psychic. Whenever an operative is shooting the selected operative, in the roll defense dice step, you can retain one of your fails as a normal success instead of discarding it, or retain one of your normal successes as a critical success. So a little bit of dice manipulation there. Okay. And you used to be able to do it twice, but on each effect. Whereas now you can't, you can only use it once. Why were you allowed to use that twice? That just feels a bit too good. But yeah, that's gone, so that is a balance change, but I don't know how that got past testing, because that seems very strong. So you can't do that twice now. So while that is a nerf, I think that's a fully justifiable nerf from reading the rule. Questkeep Operative, the Eviscerator at weapon has the hit stat changed to 4+. We're not going to know what it was before, are we? Is that the big chainsword? Yeah, 4+. Okay, was it a 5 before then? Because it's big and chunky. Faction Equipment, Servo Skull, relevant part change to read once per battle. I would assume that was once per turning point. Once per battle, one friendly Inquisitorial Agent operative can perform a mission action for 1 less AP. Okay. Would that be a problem to do it once per turn? I don't know. In Faction Equipment, Armored Bodysuits, relevant part change to read whenever an operative is shooting a friendly Inquisitorial Agent, excluding the Tome Skull, that has a 5+ save stat, ... So Armored Bodysuit or Bodysuits that has a 5+ save stat, you can retain one of your defense dice results of a 4 as a normal success. Okay, so it's the same as what we've seen with the Starstriders. I think they had something similar, but they've just meant you can't put an armored bodysuit on the Tome Skull, which makes sense. So yeah, quite a few changes. I don't know. They've obviously nerfed how many piercing weapons you can take, but I think that's fair. You can still take 3, and that is 1 at piercing 2, but you can still take 3 piercing whatever weapons. That is the same as I think all the other teams can take as a max anyway, so that's fine. The Tome Skull has been nerfed, and that's about it. Oh, the Mystic has been severely nerfed, but again, I think that's quite fair. Fair changes on that, I think. I've just had a quick look, and the Quest Keeper went the other way. It was actually a hit stat of 3+, and it is now a 4+, which is another nerf. So they've hit the Inquisitorial Agents with quite a few nerfs on this round. That one I don't know how I feel about, because I don't think that the Quest Keeper... Oh, they have an auto pistol at 8-inch range. I mean, human hitting on 4s... It's probably about right. Just having a quick overview of their card. Yeah, I mean, it's probably about right. It is a big chainsword. It's a very big chainsword. Mostly nerfs there for the Inquisitorial Agents. I still think they're probably going to be quite good, but we'll see what happens with the next few updates. Right, on to the next one. And this will be our final one for this video, the Sisters of Battle Novitiates. Nice models, but I'm not a fan of the Sisters of Battle. I do love the crossbow though. Is it the Constigator or something? Really, really cool. Stunning models. I did get rid of these, but I had these. I think they were the second box of 3rd edition. Condemner Stake Thrower. Yeah, it's just a cool little stake thrower idea. Really, really nice. But anything that is religion focused isn't for me. Update log, they've had no changes. So they had a couple of balance updates last update, but nothing this time. Nice and easy. But no changes to them, so they've gotten away from this errata scot-free. So let me know in the comments if you play any of these teams and how any of these changes have affected you. We've seen our first round of true nerfs here with these series of videos. I'm sure there's going to be more, but the Imperial Guard stuff, they kind of got away scot-free. For the most part, it was, if there was any changes, it was buffs, and that was the Aquilon's grab shoot stuff. I do think they have hit Inquisition, maybe not overly hard, but they've certainly taken away some of the things that probably made them quite strong. So we'll see how that plays out. Some of those changes may change back, we'll see, because they're not as strong. There's a lot of numbers. They can take a lot of special weapons, but they're not really a wound-heavy team, are they? I think elites would still walk through them. But we'll see. This is why it's interesting to look at this. And hopefully they're going to start doing their kill team stat videos again, because I always liked watching those. I found them quite interesting, especially when you had the designers of the game breaking down all the information and talking you through the changes. I thought that was really invaluable. I hope they do that more. So that's it for Agents of the Imperium. I think next we're going to jump over to Space Marines and see what's changing with them. So join me for that one. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.